Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Varangian sword, which is one that was, when the game first was released, a bit overlooked. It seemed as though it was just an exact clone of the broadsword, and at the time it essentially was, and in fact it actually used to be worse than the broadsword. However, with all of the patches, the buffs and nerfs of all the weapons that have occurred since release, this weapon is actually pretty good now, and definitely, in my opinion, better than the broadsword. So, getting started, this weapon requires 14 strength and 6 dexterity in order to use. It has a C scaling in strength and a C in dexterity. The physical base damage of the weapon is 250, and for me, the attack rating is 420 with Earning of Blades plus 2. The counter strength of the weapon is 110. The poise damage is 20 per hit, and the weight is 5 units. Now, I would have to say that the biggest pro of this weapon is without a doubt the moveset. It has the standard broadsword moveset, which has always been fantastic, and is one that I really enjoy. It's very easy to use, very user-friendly, and is very effective in PvP. You've got wide slashes, you've got different speeds for your attacks, between the one-handed and two-handed attacks, one-handed R1s, one-handed R2s, two-handed R1s, two-handed R2s. You've got a lot of options as far as the speed of your attacks is concerned. Now, that all being said, the weapon itself is still pretty predictable due to the fact that you can only slash with it. There are no thrusting attacks, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that it's a little predictable in some cases. Other pros of the weapon, I would definitely say would be the damage output. It's not something you want to mess with. The combo ability that is also tied in with the moveset. You're able to pull off some pretty nasty combos with this thing. I do a few of them. I think I did one in the first fight that ended the fight in less than 10 seconds. Yeah, scary stuff. Scary stuff. A few other pros. The stamina usage, actually, is definitely a pro on this weapon. It uses less stamina than the broadsword, yet does more damage. It also uses significantly less stamina than the Drakekeeper sword, and does comparable damage. So that's definitely something worth keeping in mind. It's a very good thing about the weapon, actually, because that means you're able to do more attacks more easily, and, you know, that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Now, the biggest con of this weapon, it would definitely be, in my opinion, that it's short. That being said, it's actually still longer than the broadsword, and the only thing it's really short in comparison to, as far as straight swords are concerned, is the Drakekeeper sword and, I believe, the Sun sword and Fume Knight sword. I believe those are the only ones that are actually longer than this weapon that are straight swords. But honestly, that's the biggest con I could honestly give it, because there really aren't any that are, you know, that huge. Nothing really stands out. I mean, yeah, you could say that the weight is also a con, considering it does weigh 5 units, but that being said, it's not the heaviest straight sword there is. It is on the heavier side for them, but you're talking about weapons that range from 2 units to 6 units. That's really not a lot either way, so, you know, it's really a very good weapon, a very powerful weapon, and not something you would ever want to mess with. Very effective in PvP, very fun to use. I really enjoy using this thing. Straight swords in general, they're just easy to use, and that's not a bad thing in a lot of cases. It all depends on how you use them as well. Of course, you can just be like 90% of people, and that might be a high estimate, but you could be like a lot of people, essentially, and just spam R1, spam running attacks, and still be very successful with this weapon, because it uses such little amounts of stamina, and because it does so much damage. So, there's that. Or you can, you know, go for the jumping attacks, go for the R2s, do some actual combos other than R1, 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 running R1, yeah. There are other options, of course, but you can try out the combos. They make the weapon a lot more effective. They're more fun to do, and you know, it feels good to pull off a successful combo. It always has, and this weapon is very good at doing it. It's got some excellent damage behind it, doesn't use terribly much stamina, and you know, it's hard to go wrong with it. It really is. So that pretty much sums up the weapon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.